Now, if we're going to the bad things when it comes to performance max, the general best practice and the whole idea of performance max is search, shopping, display, and video in one campaign, all targeting a ROAS target. It's the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, video on YouTube is like for the general business out there, e-commerce or lead gen or whatever it is, it's not running the same ROAS on YouTube as it does on search. It's not the same intent. So having it all in one campaign is a horrible idea. Like, Performance Max was created because Google used to have, I think it was 8 different campaign types. You need to create a shopping campaign, a search campaign, a display campaign, a email campaign, a YouTube campaign, another YouTube campaign. I don't remember the last campaign, discovery ad campaign. You used to create 7 to get full exposure to all of Google, all the Google ad network. The Performance Max is a response to that. It is to take the Verizon of the world, just want to spend $1 million on whatever on Google, and go, hey, here you can spend $1 million. But it's because it was a replacement for smart shopping that everybody thinks that it is something that everybody's supposed to be running, and it is not. Because search, shopping, display, and YouTube in one campaign doesn't make any sense for many people. So and one of the other things when it comes to Performance Max is like how good Google is at some of these things, and all the things when I've run things, and I just take a couple of examples for the last couple of months. When they run things under dynamic search ads or search partners or even display network, they make mistakes constantly, and we can't see that in Performance Max. So if you just take an example here, this is a coding school, and they have a recommendation that there's a new trend, search for airline ticket. This is not a thing that goes in and changes anything in the account, but it's just, why is this even being recommended for a coding school? Why can't Google figure out this is a coding school? Why is it showing that there are a trend within searches for airline tickets? It makes no sense. But then we go into like some of the harder ones where like this is the case where we had search partners, and we know like for Google search, you have Google as the search engine, but they also have hundreds of smaller search partners where they generate traffic to, or that use Google's core search engine as their search engine. Like there's like ask.com and some other things. I'm not up to date on who it actually is, but there's a bunch of arbitrage on those where you can actually game the system. So in this case, we had search partners that went in and spent, what was this? It was around $10,000 on 2 days, and then did the exact same thing a month later, $10,000 on 2 days. There's a search partner. It was the keyword smart bed. It had no searches normally, literally no searches whatsoever, and it spiked. You can't see that in Performance Max. We could see it because we had it split out in a segment, and we could actually see it in the existing search campaign. You can't see that in Performance Max. And if we say it here, like this is something on smart shopping. So this is the case from last year where it all of a sudden had a spike on display. Spent, I don't remember how much it was, $3,000 in a day. No performance, no nothing out of it. Didn't work, and it went away again. These things you're not able to tell when it comes into Performance Max. That's why I'm so worried about everything's being in a black box with Google, because they don't have this figured out yet. So until they stop making all these inconsistencies and mistakes, I don't trust them that much, and I'll always be concerned whatever black box they put out. They are providing more data, they are providing more insight, so it will get better in the future. But at this moment, I'm still very, very concerned with the way they've structured things. But the other reasons why you, in my opinion, should want to skip a full Performance Max setup is if you want to run YouTube or display. So if that's a part of Performance Max that you think this is just amazing, I can just plop some videos and images in there, and Google will run a display ad for me. It will run a YouTube ad for me. Honestly, like, don't do it. If you want to run video, if you want to run display ads, do it properly. Set up a proper creative strategies, like figure out what the market conversions or the right KPIs should be and run that. You're not going to gain anything out of putting in video or a display in your existing campaigns and mixing up with search and shopping. It doesn't work that way. It's not successful. And it's honestly, it's based on what I see overall on the 40 accounts we have today and everything we've run in the last 5 years in terms of how effective the display network is, how much spend you need to push into video for it to be effective, how much time you need to spend on revising the ad sequencing on YouTube, and how much time you have to spend on figuring out what creatives on YouTube works and what doesn't work, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You can't just lob it into Performance Max and then see it working. I'm actually not sure I have this presentation. I don't think it is. No, it's not. But the other thing with video is like, if you want to do very well on YouTube, you have to have good video. You have to have good creative. Just like on Facebook, creative is everything. Then targeting, but creative is the most important part. If you spend $10,000 or $20,000 on new creatives for YouTube and you can't control how much spend you actually put in there, that's nerve-wracking. Like I have clients where they've gone out like, we spent like 50,000 on this video setup. We would just want to add it to Performance Max. And I'm like, no, we're not gonna do that. Like we're never gonna do that because I can't tell you how much we're spending, and I can't spend $5,000 promoting a $50,000 video. It doesn't, like, that's just a horrible idea. That would be the other way around. And then mixing shopping and search. I'm like, the way Performance Max works is that you have shopping and then you have dynamic search ads built into one campaign. That's what it does. It doesn't do anything like magical there. It doesn't combine and say, these are the products that have been shown for these searches that they have converted really well in the past. We should also run regular search and regular keywords for these. It doesn't work. Like, that's not how it's built, at least not yet. So the only thing you get when you put search inside of a Performance Max campaign is you hide the search that you would normally get from a dynamic search ads campaign. And you can't see how much are we getting out of search, how much are we getting out of shopping. I had a case last, around August, where they were running Performance Max, had 12-to-1 ROAS on it, and spent around $20,000 a month on it. When I went in and did the initial analysis that we do, I could see that it was spending $500 on shopping and the rest on search, which were all branded terms. So I turned it off, went to a regular standard shopping setup, and sure enough, performance absolutely sucked because it was non-branded now. So performance was absolutely horrible. So actually, we were trying to build it up over a 2-month period, and the director of growth went in and did a passive-aggressive move where he restarted the old Performance Max campaigns and wrote, "Do not pause, Andrew." And that was so. And then we had to go back in and re-explain why the campaigns didn't work. And you could just see immediately when Performance Max was launched, his own branded term just went like this in his regular campaign. So search and shopping mixed up together, in my opinion, is a mistake because you can't see how much you're getting from each. And the way that Google works is that Google is a finite resource. If you're selling a mattress, there's only X amount of searches for a mattress per month. You want to get as much out of it as possible. And you can't do that if you're not showing for a keyword like mattress or orthopedic mattress or one of the other mattress keywords. If it's not performing, you want to figure out why that is, not just have a target ROAS or a Performance Max hide that it's not working.